right, now that you signed in, you could go ahead and take a look at the assessments themselves. So do that. I would ignore this tile for now. It's got some pre-built filters, but they don't appear to show you all of the assessments. So give it a try. If you see yours there, awesome. If not, though, we have the gray view assessments tile, which will show you every single assessment. Now you're going to want to make sure you're on shared with me, which mine already is, but if yours does not default to that, go to shared with me because all of these assessments will be shared with you by the coordinators who made them. And you see I also got some filters up here that have been saved. So I'll clear those out to get the authentic experience here. So when you first get into it, you should have a whole bunch of assessments shared with you. So not this year's not just the assessments that you'll be using, it's every assessment. Just make sure everybody has access to what they need. And then from there, you can just search for your specific assessment or assessments that your students will be taking if you want to take a closer look at those. So going off my example that you saw me using earlier, if I'm looking for math because I'm teaching math, then I could search for math or Algebra 1 or whatever specific thing I'm teaching. Go ahead and hit search. And then I'll narrow it down from my 272 to now 64. So that's still quite a few. So I could also add a filter here. If I'm a fourth grade math teacher, I could go click fourth grade, hit search. And now we got to narrow down to 6. Keep in mind, though, sometimes those filters do kind of mess things up. So when that test was created, if it wasn't assigned specifically to a grade level, then grade level won't work. So keep that in mind, especially on the secondary side. You might need to use some different searches to narrow those results down to get a smaller list to look at. With the naming convention, just to make sure you're looking at the test you want to be looking at, it's always going to be grade level for elementary, and then content, and then the interim number. So in this case, the first interim of our 3 will be having throughout the school year, and then the school year, which is for school year 22. The only difference for secondary won't have the grade levels since biology, algebra 1, whatever, doesn't necessarily have a grade level attached. From here, you have a couple options. You could click on the assessment itself to get into the detail screen, which we will be doing shortly. But you can also preview it if you want to see it from the student's perspective. So click action, preview. You can mess around with these settings if you want. Doesn't really matter. Just giving you a quick look at the test from the student's perspective. So you have all the same buttons. I've already started this one earlier, but they normally say begin test here. In my case, it says continue test because I already started my preview, but it shows you the question. Choose the right answer. Hit next, so on and so forth. So that is a nice feature there to get that authentic student experience. Well, close out of that tab, bounce back over here. Your other option to look at some details from the test is to click the test itself. That'll bring you up a new window. You can dismiss all of this. And the detail screen is pretty much going to show you everything you might want to know about this assessment. So it shows you all the questions. In this case, there's 5 more questions behind here. Shows you the standards they're tied to. Shows you the question if you wanted to actually look at it. So if you just wanted to get a quick look at what question number 2 was, you could click that. See the rubric if you want to, all that good stuff. Down here, again, tells you the standards that are tied to it, various performance bands, and then beyond that, just the schools it's shared with, stuff you probably don't care about. But between the preview and these assessment details, that should cover just about everything you'd want to know about the assessment. If not, click some other buttons as well. There's all kinds of fun information out there for you.